I'm working.
Pardon me, I'm looking for the doctor.
The doctor is tanking.
Pardon me?
He's in the think tank. That little honey right over there.
What are you working on?
I'm maintaining the precise balance of environmental variables for optimal theta brainwave state, or any other state desired.
And what's everyone else working on?
Better living through chemistry.
I have a friend who's having a critical reaction to voyatrazine. I'm looking for an antidote.
That's too bad. There's no such chemical.
I've been told there's no Dr. Duplicitous either. Thanks for all the info.
I'm very sorry. I'm running the Le Biochambre 4000 at the moment.
Who's inside?
That's privileged information. But I am going to tell you how you can make $25,000 your first week in real estate just by breaking these 5 simple laws.
That's okay. I've already made my fortune. I'm retired now.
What do you think you're doing?
Hypnotizing you.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I want you to focus on my voice.
Yes.
You are now hypnotized.
Yes.
You are familiar with hypnosis. You already know that just because you're under hypnosis, I can't make you do or say anything that you don't want to.
Yes.
Well, I want you to forget that you know that.
Okay. Yes.
Listen to me carefully. I want you to open the biochamber door.
I can't do that.
Yes, you can. As I count to 3, you will find yourself more and more willing to open the biochamber door. 1. You are beginning to feel confident that you can open the biochamber door. 2. You're picturing the biochamber door open, what it will be like when you get through opening it. 3. You are now completely able to open the biochamber.
No, I'm not.
Why do you think you can't?
The doctor left very strict orders. I'm afraid he would kill me if I opened the door.
That is strict. Tell me, is there any such thing as an antidote to voyatrazine? Can you hear me? I want you to tell me if there is a cure or antidote for voyatrazine.
I can't tell you.
Why can't you tell me? I need you to show me how to operate these controls. Okay, calm down. Everything is okay. You're feeling better and you can smell apple pie baking.
Oh, that's nice.
Stand there very quietly. Don't get in my way and don't make any noise.
You interrupted me. You are Jake Stonebender, and oh, you've come a long way for nothing. And the sniveling little 2-bit thief who provided you with my elevator code is going to be a very sorry little man. What should I do with you, Jake Stonebender?
Oh, you're Dr. Duplicitous? I must have the wrong one.
You're scared. I I like that in a toady. What should
I have great admiration for you, and I bow to your vast intellect and generosity.
Why would you try to lie to me of all people? Isn't that a silly thing to do?
I thought I'd get points for being cute.
Do you know how I came to invent voyatrazine?
To impress the chicks?
Hardly. For the girls, I invented a drug called mypexagolden. Manipulated pheromones to make me seem 100 times more masculine than anyone else alive.
By accident, like all great inventions?
Don't be silly. Although I did inadvertently develop a drug to make myself more resistant to humiliation, I now market it under the name Embarrassine.
To keep from having to do real work?
That's funny, to avoid real work. Do you know how hard I work? The only thing I ever invented to help save me work was a drug that compelled others to work for me. I can't do it all.
What drug is that?
I just said, I can't do it all.
To keep the grant money coming in.
Oh, right. But I still had a greater purpose. Do you know what I wanted to destroy?
Society as a whole.
No, and not as a lot of little pieces either. No, I was trying to bring an end to hypocrisy. Surrounded by yes men. There is no greater waste of space than a person who can only parrot back my own words and tell me what he thinks I want to hear. I can tell me what I want to hear. I don't need somebody else to say it for me. Sycophants. I thought I would be doing away with deception. But it hasn't stopped at all. It's the same behavior on an entirely new level.
Maybe you can't push it on people before they're ready. I think it's a worthy goal. You try to take a shortcut.
Don't patronize me, Stonebender. I'm not in the mood.
I don't want to play anymore.
Don't leave yet, Mr. Stonebender. I haven't figured out how to take best advantage of you. I'm not comfortable allowing you to leave. You represent an ethic that has more or less ceased to be here. Allowing you in the organization, or even in this time period at all, would be disruptive. You'd infect the society like a computer virus.
Oh, God, I wish Noah were here to hear you say that.
So, I'm left wondering, do I just harvest you? Lobotomize you? Take your time machine and see what I can do with it? I don't even think it's safe to let you go back home. Too much advanced publicity would probably not be beneficial. It's an interesting dilemma I find myself in.
What do you mean, what you're going to do with me?
I'm not comfortable allowing you to leave. You represent an ethic that has more or less ceased to be here.
Oh, God, I wish...
So, I don't... It's an...
I'll make a deal with you. Are you listening?
I didn't get to where I am by ignoring deals out of hand. What exactly do you have in mind?
I don't have much, but if you give me an antidote for voyatrazine for Al, and let me go back and give it to him, you can take his time sled. I'm sure he'd rather get out of this with his life than not at all.
First of all, I could have your time sled in a moment if I wanted it. And I do. But there's no such drug as the one you're looking for. So I'm afraid we don't have a deal. What should I do with you?
Let's talk about a deal. I want the neutralizer for my friend Al. I'll give you whatever you want.
Oh, Damn that blackboard. It takes a good deal of P3 to make the neutralizer, and I have none to spare. Although,
What?
I could take some from you. That would work. I like that.
What's P3?
Only one of the most important physiological finds of the last 500 years.
Ugh. I already don't like it.
P3 is a hyaline fluid exuded by the system in response to pain.
Like adrenaline?
No. Adrenaline is non-specific to a variety of stressors, most of which are physical. But P3 is only released in times of intense emotional or psychological pain. It shows up in every fluid in the human body in minute quantities. It's a black bile. It's pure yang. And it's the primary component of the voyatrazine neutralizer. So let me suggest this. I will extract P3 from you. Should you give me enough for my purposes, I will give you some neutralizer for your friend, provided you survive the extraction process.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Fine. Let's get started. Stand right here. John, would you administer the pre-wash? I'm glad to see you're awake. It's always better when they start off aware of what's happening. You know, in my line of work, I meet a lot of very deluded, very sick people. But nobody with quite your brand of lunacy.
Am I a lunatic?
Yes. You believe that we're in the future.
Not exactly. You're the one. This is your present. I'm visiting. Just to help Alfie.
Yes, that's what you said. But I don't remember Alfie thinking he's from the past.
He comes back.
Right, in a time machine, the same one that got you here. Is that right?
Yes. Where's my stuff?
I took the liberty of lightening your load. You had some things that did not belong to you. Rubber bands are quite valuable these days. We shouldn't have had one out in the open. The rest of your belongings are right here. If you survive, they'll be returned to you.
And I get the antidote, right?
Yes. Now that I think of it, I do remember him saying something about the past, and I remember being somewhat in doubt as to his state of sanity. But he had cash, so I decided, why be judgmental?
If you can read my mind, you know I'm not making it up.
If you are delusional, then what I see through your eyes would be a delusion as well. But down to business. Now, I'm going to reach down and scour those billions of memories and nightmares of yours in search of the blackest, vilest little nuggets of fear I can find. The things buried so deeply that you don't even talk to yourself about them. I envision it as being inside of your mind and being surrounded by the traumas and bruises and cuts. Most of them look healed over. But when I take my fingernails and rake them over the scabs to find the ones that really haven't healed at all, the cysts hidden behind them, that's what I'm looking for. I have to pop them, drain the bile from them.
Stop describing it and let's get it over with.
Oh, but the foreplay can be so much fun. But then again, quickies are nice too sometimes. This? What about it?
The one I don't like to talk to myself about. The one I can't forgive myself for. The one that won't go away.
Ah, I knew you had something like that. I'll see what I can pull out about it.
Well, what if I just told you?
We can certainly try that. But if this is a delaying tactic, I'm going to be disappointed.
No, this is the real stuff.
Then by all means, tell me about it.
I had a family. This was a long time ago. This was 1970. My wife, Barbara. We had a daughter, Jessica, who was just a toddler at the time. She was the most perfect child. I mean, she was an angel. She never stopped smiling. We used to tell her, "Come on, cheer up," and then she would laugh. I was making a good living singing and playing, believe it or not, and Barbara was teaching part-time, and it was too good to be true, I guess, too good to last. I must have been out of my mind. I tried to fix. I thought I fixed the brakes on our car. I replaced the front brakes myself. Jake Stonebender, master mechanic, right? We were going to a movie, and we were on our way, and we were at an intersection. There was a truck coming from the left, and I slammed on my homemade brakes, and they failed. We hit the tractor trailer. I was only going a few miles over the speed limit. I had the brakes on, but they gave out. The engine block came right on through the dashboard, right between me and Barbara and Jessica, and they were on fire. I wasn't, but they were. We were all trapped, and they burned to death right beside me. I was hardly hurt, and I killed my wife and my baby girl. They had to cut us out of the car with chainsaws. I was sitting beside them, and they were so dead. I kept begging them to move. I started screaming at them finally, but they were so dead. I could see their faces, the expressions they were wearing when they burned. That was the last way they looked. I still see it. I see it so much I forget what it is I'm looking at. They were cutting me out, and when the chainsaw came near me, I thought, how can I live with this? So I climbed out the window and put my wrists up to the chainsaw.
Why didn't you kill yourself?
I tried. The guy knocked me out.
Why didn't you try again?
I did. The doctor that saved my life also saved my soul. He took me to a bar, and I guess I learned to want to live again. I'm not sure how.
That was wonderful. And just look at that bottle. Jake Stonebender, I am delighted with you. You are a mess. And I am going to keep my end of the bargain. Perhaps in a few years I'll pay you another visit. I'm sure you'll have a lot more for me by then. Have you any idea what sort of a repository of misery and despair the history of mankind holds for me? How much P3 I can refine from hundreds of generations of frightened, lonely people? You, more than most, should appreciate its power. Look at what it's done for you half your life. Look at how you survived.
I think I survived in spite of my pain.
Then maybe you should think about it a little longer. In the meantime, I'm going to pay a visit to the Spanish Inquisition. The church should never have left the torture business. What's this? You wanted to give me your recipe?
No,
I prefer to eat out. So long, Stonebender. Bye-bye. When are you gonna leave already? You wait too long, Alfie's gonna wake up again.
Got what I was looking for.
That tastes terrible. What was that anyway?
Notice anything different?
The voices. You did it.
A thank you will suffice.
How can I ever repay you?
You already paid.
I did?
I had to bargain a little with your friend Dr. Duplicitous. You got the cure. You got the time sled.
He what? But how could you do that?
I didn't think you had a choice.
That's not the point. A man like him with a time sled? I'm a little irresponsible. He'll destroy the world.
I wouldn't worry too much. He didn't like your recipe.